got some of my leadership team here in the Mississippi Senate. I see some of them, and if I could get the senators that are here today to stand up, would you please do that for me? I want Senator Kyle. I saw somebody. Let's give them a hand, please. Let me tell you, these guys did an excellent job this year. I'm so very, very proud of them. Let me brag just a little bit. Years ago, I remember we had a recession in the 1980s. And my political hero at the time was President of the United States. And he said, I've got an idea. Let's incentivize businesses with tax cuts. Let's don't overregulate them or burden them. And I think they'll pull us out of recession. So we started looking at targeted tax cuts. And one of the first ones we came up with the House of Representatives' help, let me say that, with the great help of the House of Representatives, was the tax cut holiday. Did y'all enjoy that? I hope you did. Now, I'm going to tell you what you got to do. Come on, you got to apply for a tax cut. You got to buy anything, clothing items, or more importantly, shoes under $100 without paying taxes for that one weekend in July. We have Christmas-sized sales, and that's the way you hire extra people. That's the way you get inventory there. That's the way that happened. And then we cut taxes on farm implements and equipment and repairs. When I was a kid in Moorhead, Mississippi, we used to have these little shops. And mechanics like my dad would fix farm equipment. And maybe they'd hire a helper and somebody to help answer the phone if you had a phone. And so we provided jobs. And then all of a sudden, those repair jobs started going to Arkansas and Louisiana. Why? They only charge 1.5% sales tax on repairs, and we charge 7%. So we did away with that. So now I think you'll see those small shops crop back up. Those are small businesses that can provide for their families. We even cut taxes on the chemicals, CO2. Y'all all know now what that is. I've been saying it so many times. We're going to take that CO2 and put it back in the ground to reclaim oil, at least 50%. Did you hear me? 50% of the oil is still in the ground in the Tinsley field, or the old Jackson Dome over in Yazoo County. That is a remarkable amount of oil that we can recover, and hopefully one day my dream would be to get it down to Chevron, one of the greatest refineries in the nation, and get it refined there, get it in a gas tank at a lower cost. I'd like to now have a great week. Let me tell you, I was at the Burnsville City Chamber of Commerce Monday. I don't know if you know where Burnsville is, but y'all find it there up and coming. I'm going back to Tishomingo County Friday and cut 2 ribbons on 2 new businesses coming to Tishomingo County. You gotta love entrepreneurs and businessmen. They will not give up, even in the face of the greatest recession in modern history. They're building, they're expanding, and what they know is we have a business-friendly state in Mississippi. Yesterday, I was at Eurocopter. I don't know if you've been there in Columbus, Mississippi, but let me tell you, great things are happening in Lowndes County. Absolutely remarkable things are going on over at Eurocopter. I went through Severstal again, just a tour to see that, hopefully expansion that's going to take place there. I'm encouraged. I think we've got to do our job in the legislature. Let me tell you, that starts with being responsible. And George Flagg, you're absolutely right. Thank you. George Flagg has always been a physical conservative, and I'm very proud of the work that he's doing, and he's someone that we can often turn to in the House of Representatives. What I'd like to see us do is what we did last session. Y'all remember me talking about the budget, and I said we want to do a couple of things. We want to have a balanced budget using real numbers. And that's not always easy to get, but real numbers. We don't have any built-in deficits. I didn't want the governor to have to make cuts. Unfortunately, this recession, this natural recession, has gotten so bad that he had to do that. We can't blame him for that. Nobody should try. And finally, I said, let's move $60 million forward. Oh my goodness, they said that's the craziest thing we ever heard of. Nobody's going to take money out of one session and move it forward. Well, that's exactly what we did. And it's a very good thing that we have, because we've got challenges ahead of us. They're going to be tougher this year and perhaps even tougher the next year. We've got to face that. One of the things that I think we need to do in the Senate, I can't tell the House what to do. I'm not about to try. But I would like to see us do something we did my first year as I was Lieutenant Governor, shorten the session. Now let me tell you, I believe we can do this in 60 days. Listen to me, I think we can get it done if we focus, and I've talked to Alan Nunley about it, and I've talked to the Speaker about it, and he's thinking it over. But if we get in there and concentrate on the budget, and understand this is the most important budget year we'll ever have, but we've got to get it done. We can save at least $150,000 to $200,000 by shortening that session and getting our work done now and getting back to our jobs. I hope you'll support me on that. Let me ask you something about the budget. I've been working with it, 11 years as state auditor, 2 years as lieutenant governor. I've noticed something. It doesn't work very well. I'm going to say that today. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to ask you something. You don't have to raise your hand. You can sit there if you don't. But I've been asking this question all over the state of Mississippi. All of you that think the current budget system in Mississippi works efficiently and effectively, raise your hand. I didn't think so. As I travel around the state, I ask people that if you think this budget system is working effectively, raise your hand. Nobody has agreed. Nobody, not one hand goes up Rotary Club, not one hand goes up Chamber of Commerce. They understand this is an old system and we need to change it. Now, I put a commission together. It's called the Commission for a New Mississippi. Jim Barksdale's on it. He's helped us lead it. We're going to bring a proposal forward that is going to completely change the budget system in the state of Mississippi. It is going to go to performance-based budgeting. Now, you know that's already in the law, but a lot of times we just sort of pay little attention to it. But we're going to develop a strategic plan. We're going to tie performance-based budgeting and outcomes to it. And then we're going to put budget revenue, into that strategic plan. So if you get your job done, if we can look at targeted goals and say, you accomplished what you set out to do, that's tied directly to our strategic plan, you get funded. If you don't, we're going to find somebody else to do that job. That's what we've got to have in Mississippi. You're going to see a report. You're going to see legislation. Now, there's going to be critics. There's going to be people come out and say, oh, we can't change this budget system. We've always done it this way. We need to keep it this way. I'm telling you, it is broke. It needs to be fixed. It's nobody's fault. It's something that happened, and we need to move on to a new and brighter day. Now, education. Last year was probably the toughest year that we've had, but we were able to fund MAEP again. The second year we were able to do that. That's so vitally important to fund education. But we did more. Again, with the House's help, Cecil Brown and Vidette Carmichael, the two chairs of education, working together, we came up with the Children's First Act. Children first, putting children first in schools. Not superintendents, not principals, not coaches, not teachers. They're all important. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for good teachers and good principals and good coaches, but to put that child first, to make sure the money follows that child. It's going to say a couple of things. It's going to say, for example, if you're a superintendent or board member, and you're in a school district that's failing, a failing school district for 2 years, you're going to be removed from office. Now that is the toughest law in the nation, the toughest law in the nation. But we've got to make those hard decisions. It says you've got to report your financial condition. You've got to report whether or not your school is meeting the levels that it should in statewide testing. There's an emergency effort where the governor can declare an emergency and we can move in and take over those school districts when we have to, so we can get in there early. So we got a recovery school district. There's a no pass, no play provision. It just says what we used to do when I was in school. If you didn't pass, you didn't get to play. So you had to be academically where you should be in life before you were on the field. This is a tough law, but it is something, again, that the House and Senate put together. And I'm so very happy that we did, because I think you're going to see dramatic outcomes. Now, I can tell you all that about the good things that are going on. Some of you probably read about the possibility of a special session. That's up to the governor. He'll make that call, but I think you're going to hear the governor, who's been working so very, very hard and has done such a tremendous job as governor. I tell you, I told people during the campaign, I still believe it. I believe we got the best governor in the United States of America. I think he's doing a fantastic job. I hope he's going to be sharing with you in the not too distant future some other great opportunities. I hope, for example, as I see Mississippi Power here, I hope we're able to build that plant in Kemper County. I'm excited about that possibility. That's a $2 billion plant, 1,000 jobs. We've got to build here and build now, and then we're going to take that CO2. Y'all remember I talked about it earlier. Put it in the ground, bring that all up. Now, I know the Public Service Commission's got a tough job to do. I'm not trying to tell them what to do. I'm just hoping that I'm cutting a ribbon one day over there, helping cut one in Kemper County on that great plan. I want to thank y'all for being here.